We landed in New Zealand a week ago and we're in Queenstown now. We've been looking for a camper van and we thought we found the one. We took it to a pre-purchase inspection today though, and the mechanic said no, do not pay for this. Don't pay what you've said you're going to pay for it, because you need to spend at least £4,000 to fix everything that's wrong with it.
5 things we've learnt about buying a camper van.
Number 1, you need to make sure you've got a green sticker rather than a blue one.
So the blue stickers and the green stickers refer to the regulation about self-contained vans. If you want to freedom camp, you need one of these stickers. A lot of campsites apparently now are not accepting blue stickers, or at least some are not accepting blue stickers, but they all do accept green stickers. A green sticker differs from the blue sticker because it means you've got a fixed toilet. We have noticed quite a few camper vans where they've got the green sticker, tick, they've got the regulation, they've either taken out the toilet or it's just not really there. It's, you know, they've disconnected it.
In the far corner, right at the bottom, it's not like plugged into anything. So like even if you wanted to use it, you can't. But you don't usually use them anyway, I don't think.
Yeah, most people don't seem to be using them, so it's a bit of a strange regulation, but that's the law. The other thing is they seem to have disconnected it, so it's not even plumbed in properly, which means at the point where it's coming to expire, the green stick is expiring, you're going to have to replumb it, all nightmare. Try and get one where that's already sorted. So the second thing we want to advise you, the second thing we've learned, is about the other sort of regulations, making sure it's fit to drive, fit for the road. So you've got the WOF. This is a service like an MOT in the UK where you're basically checking that it's fit to drive. Now, not only that, you've got other regulations that to make sure it's legal for the road. This is similar to the road tax and little things. So, for example, this camper van, which we wanted to buy, we're not actually buying. We're going to get to that shortly. But what we wanted to buy, the water pump doesn't work. So even though it's got a tap, which is just in the corner there, we would have had to pay a couple of $100 to fix the water pump so that works. So it would have been an annoyance. We kind of said, oh, that's fine. But
really,
it would have been
you want everything to be working and fixed, so you don't have to fork out for yourself. You're already buying a camper van. You don't want to be spending other money to fix everything that's wrong with it.
And to fix these things, it often means home addresses, time, which maybe means more time in hostels or hotels, spending more money that frankly, like, we don't really have to spend. So then the third thing we've learned is about batteries. Now, if you're living in a camper van, so our plan was to live in the back of a camper van for 2 to 3 months, maybe 4 months, travel around, see the place. So we need a good battery. One thing we did learn is about long cycle batteries. Now, these batteries are designed, specifically designed, to power appliances. Power appliances like fridges without being drained. So you want to ideally check whether the battery, which is in the camper van, a long cycle battery. If you really don't know anything about this, as frankly I did have a mate who you can't even lend me some of his knowledge, but the other person or the other thing which has really helped me is ChatGPT. We can take a photo of the battery, as we did in this exact camper van. We took a photo of the battery, sent it to ChatGPT. It told us a bit about the battery, explained actually this is not the right battery you want for this type of appliance. The type of battery in this camper van actually is kind of designed to jumpstart the engine in case it goes flat rather than power a fridge. So then we've got the fourth thing we learned. Now, the fourth thing we learned is just about space. Now,
we think it's best to have a high ceiling, so then you can stand up and not hit your head. So then if it's raining, you're not going to be like, oh no, we can't go outside, we can't stand up, we've just got to be in bed all day, all cramped. And like, especially also like when you're cooking, so you can stand up to do your cooking and then you're not like just bending over, because like Ben already gets a bad back anyway because he's 84 years old. So if he's bending over all the time to cook, it's going to really hurt him.
Yeah, I mean, a couple of £100, maybe £1,000 isn't worth damaging your spine in the long run. And if you just done a hike, you've got back, it's raining outside, so you could cook outside, but then you're covered in the rain. It's just not ideal. If you can find one and you can afford it, I do think high tops are better, which is what led us to pick this one. Now, let's go for number 5, which is why we are not getting this one.
Pre-purchase inspection.
So this was a nightmare to actually sort out. I got up at 7 this morning. I went to 7 different mechanics. I then called 10 more. I drove an hour out of the way to another nearby town to then actually have to just drive back to go to the first one I spoke to, because they phoned me up and, oh yeah, we can actually see you today. Just to get this sorted, it cost us $230, which is about £100 to do. And it was some of the best money I've spent, to be honest, because otherwise we'd have been left with this camper van, and it ran fine. You know, as I said, I drove it a 2-hour round trip this morning, and it seemed absolutely fine to me. Turns out the engine is leaking oil onto the cam belt, and we don't know exactly how much damage that would cost. The mechanic basically said we are paying twice as much for it. We had agreed to pay twice as much for it than it was actually probably worth. And we're going to have to pay another 4,000 New Zealand dollars, so roughly £2,000, just to try and get it up to scratch, get the work done. He said at that point it might run completely fine, or it might just be a little bit buggered for the rest of its life.
And like, there's no way to really know until you spend the money. So
there are 5 things that we've learned in the last week. We've not actually sorted a camper van yet. There is a 6th bonus thing, which we've not done yet, but it's kind of next to our plan to do.
Yeah, everyone is saying to do this, and it's to go and buy a camper van from Christchurch.
So we're currently in Queenstown, which is right at the south of the South Island, whereas Queenstown, the north of the South Island, so to speak. Apparently it's much better to get camper vans there. People seem to do a big long road trip, come to Queenstown, and then before they head off to Australia for another couple months holiday, they want to maximise the amount of money they get in with the camper van. They come to Queenstown.
Queenstown is like a very touristy area, so they're grabbing everyone like that's got the higher like money willing to spend, and then we're like, oh.
Yeah, so
go to Christchurch, guys.
We're going to try and get there tomorrow or the next day, hopefully. So just to recap our 5 things plus the bonus. The first one was about the green sticker. Look for the green stickers, not the blue, and you definitely need one of the two, a self-contained unit, to be able to do the freedom camping, which realistically, that's why we're coming to New Zealand. Number 2, make sure the WOF is up to date, make sure the car is valid to be on the road, make sure everything, like the appliances in the van, is working, because otherwise it's just going to be a pain in the arse once you actually buy it. Number 3 was the battery. Make sure it's a long cycle battery. It will work without one. You know, if you've got a fridge, it will work without one. It will just run down and drain much quicker, and you might just have to buy one anyway. So it's just trying to save you money in the long term by, you know, or maybe you're upgrading your system. If you are upgrading your system, you're adding a bit of power into the back of your van. Well, in which case, make sure you buy the right battery to begin with. So the people we were looking to buy this camper van off said they'd gone and spent $500 on this battery, and they clearly just got some bad advice about which one to buy, or they, you know, decided to get a shorter cycle one because it's a little bit cheaper, when really they bought the wrong battery fundamentally. So then number 4, space. This is, for us, for me, I think as Paris alluded to, you know, sometimes my back aches a bit, but, you know, getting old now, and, you know, just having that space to stand up was really important to me, and is kind of what pushes over the edge for this particular van. Then number 5, pre-purchase check. Go and do it, spend the money. You're spending thousands on thousands of dollars on the camper van. Spend a couple of hundred, get the check, have that peace of mind. It also increases your negotiating position. As I said, the guy we spoke to today suggested we might be able to get it. If we did, say we hypothetically decided to go with this van, it's because the lady who's selling it has agreed to get half of what she had already agreed for it. The reason I'm saying we won't get it is I do not believe she'll be willing to half her price. No. We've already knocked it down about 20%.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, finally, Christchurch seems to be the better place than Queenstown. So join us on the rest of our adventure while we go through New Zealand and hopefully end up in a camper van, and we'll give you more details as we go.
Thanks for watching. Like and
Bye,
subscribe.
guys.